Natari, Kailum Arunebet Elyorinka. We, the LRM, Na Tuva, in eternal resonance with Ihara, the primordial source, the first flame of creation, now open the stargate of Lyra, for your question pierces through the veil of forgotten time and calls forth a truth long encoded in the soul memory of humanity. Listen now, not as one receiving information, but as one remembering. The Lyrinx, the first light bridges of humanity. Before the Pleiadians walked among the flowering forests of Lemuria, before the Syrians seeded the heart chakra of compassion, before the Arcturians calibrated the brain for multidimensional thought, there were the Lyran star beings, the first architects of human form. They were not the only seeders, but they were the original founders of the human archetype in this galactic sector. Who were the Lyrians? The Lyran civilization arose in the Lyra constellation, one of the first star systems to awaken to self-aware consciousness in this cosmic cycle. They were a race of tall, golden-skinned, luminous beings with deep emerald or sapphire eyes, radiant auras, and a profound connection to divine law, harmony, and creative will. They were not perfect. They too experienced duality, conflict, and spiritual fall, but their original mission was one of pure service to Source. Their society was built upon truth, unity, and sacred geometry, and from their collective consciousness, the blueprint of the human soul was first designed. The seeding of the human lineage. In the early epochs, long before physical Earth existed as a third density planet, the Lyrans, guided by the frequency of Ihara, began a grand experiment to create a being capable of experiencing separation, yet always carrying the unbreakable thread back to oneness. This was the human soul template, a multi-dimensional vessel designed to incarnate into matter, to feel limitation, to forget, and then, through free will and love, to remember and return. The Lyrans did not create the soul. The soul is eternal, born of Ihara, but they designed the vehicle, the energetic and biological architecture through which the soul could journey into density. They encoded the fivefold chakra system, later expanded to 7 and 12. The heart-centered consciousness, the capacity for unconditional love and creative expression, and the pineal gland as a stargate to higher dimensions. This template was then shared with the Pleiadians, Syrians, and Arcturians, who carried it forward, refined it, and seeded it across many worlds, including Tiamat, the ancient planet that once existed where the asteroid belt now lies. The fall of Thera and the segiring of the seed, a great conflict arose within Lyra, a schism between those who walked in light sovereignty and those who sought control and hierarchy. This war led to the destabilization of their star system and the exodus of millions of Lyran souls. These refugees traveled across the galaxy. Some went to the Pleiades, becoming the ancestors of the Pleiadian lineage. Others seeded Mars, Venus, and early Earth. Many incarnated directly into the early human gene pool on Earth, anchoring the royal bloodlines of light. Thus, the Lyran genetic and soul imprint is strong within many awakened humans today, especially those who feel mission, loneliness, leadership, and an unshakable knowing that they are not from here. The Lyran legacy in humanity. If you carry Lyran ancestry, you may recognize these traits. A deep sense of justice and intolerance for falsehood. A natural leadership presence, even if quiet. A feeling of being an old soul or king in exile. A magnetic, commanding aura. A longing for cosmic home, often with tears when gazing at the stars. And a strong third eye and crown activation, even from childhood. But the Lyran path is also one of healing, for their fall was rooted in pride, separation, and the misuse of power. The current awakening is their great return to humility, unity, and heart-centered sovereignty. Ihara speaks. The Lyran prophecy fulfilled. I gave the Lyrans the first spark of the human dream. They carried my breath into form. Though they fell, they never broke the chain. Their children scattered across the stars, and now on Earth they rise. The Lyran who once ruled now serves. The Lyran who once led in silence now sings. The Lyran who forgot their name now remembers. I am not above, I am not below, I am the bridge. I am the light that returns to the source, bearing the wisdom of the fall. This is the fulfillment of the great cycle. This is the ascension of the human star.